Men and women, primarily men in this case, being innovative, being creative, fighting the system, and a lot of those things resonate with me, and so, and plus it didn't hurt that I was offered the role, which is always a big selling point for me. Oh, you want me? There was a task, and what seemingly impossible task to overcome. And by the will of these people, of these very driven and creative people, they were able to accomplish this seemingly impossible task. In a way, it's about love. It's a love story, and sometimes the love story is about Ken Miles and his wife. Sometimes it's about him and his son. Sometimes it's about both Ken Miles and Shelby and their love of cars, and including Phil Remington. So it's about loving what you do, and in a lot of ways, what you're about. He was an engineer. He was a fabricator. He would envision a part that had never been before. He would figure out how to make it, and he would fabricate it himself. He did all of these things. So he's an unsung hero in the story about how Ford was able to overcome its obstacles and maybe beat Ferrari. We can't tell you yet for sure. Jim has a way of seeing a take and having a visceral reaction to it, and coming to you and discussing about what that reaction is and how about let's try something different, which is usually always the case with my choices. And I found that very helpful. It's a very symbiotic relationship with Master Director. And a lot of these guys were doing not only what they wanted to do, but what they had to do. And I think they appreciated that, that bit of luck in their lives that they found that. I think car racing, doing something that's never been done before, creating something that's never been created before, is a great petri dish for human behavior. The stakes are really high. People want things really badly, and you get to see under these extreme conditions how different people behave. And for me, who's always, I'm always more interested in what's happening with the characters in the story than actually the story itself, most often. That all of these characters in their own way get tested, and some come through shining, others come through flawed, and that's something that's universal. Watching Shelby and these risk takers push Ford to back what they did to become Ford, which is take risks, and that's a big theme in the story. The thing I noticed about him is he's always very present as an actor, as his character. He's very honest, and if I got lost somehow in my role and I didn't know where I was, I'd just focus in on Christian, and it was going to be all right. He'd bring you back into the world that we were in. He's got a very sharp mind, and he's a guy who loves a good discourse. And I think for me, I've just really enjoyed that relationship as we've found our kind of a way of working together. And now I know why his movies are so good, because he cares about everything, it's not the least of which is the acting. Well, I hope they feel the spirit of the people that we're portraying, and that kind of can-do spirit about, doing something that's never been done before. These guys were hot rodders, What you do is you take a small car, you put a big engine in it, you try to make the car lighter and lighter, bigger engine, more speed, faster, keep it on the ground, and that's how you make a race car.